So we started with tokens. Tokens are the basic building program block of a program. Then next we have syntax. Syntax is a grammar or rules of a program. C also contains some set of characters, that is lowercase letters, uppercase letters, digits, other characters, white spaces. Now what are tokens? Six kind of tokens are there: keywords, identifiers, constants, strings, operators and punctuation. So these are the six set of tokens. Now one by one we will see what is each set of token. So first one is keyword or reserve word. Okay, you remember what I am saying? Keyword or reserve word. Okay, what is keyword? Keyword is a one form of token. So you see, when we will write keyword, computer knows that when this word come, what task has to be done, what operation has to be done. So if I will say jump in normal language, if I will say jump to a child, what a child does? It has to jump. Okay, so jumping is a keyword. Child knows that in our normal day-to-day life, if I will say one word jump, the child knows that when I say jump, what action it has to do, right? He has to, the child has to jump. Same way, we have some set of words whose meaning is known to the computer. Okay, so if I'll say main, so computer knows that when I say main and when I'll write main in the program, that is the starting point of a program. If I'll write hash include, the computer knows that include means I have to include the header file. When I write int, computer knows that this is a data type. So what is keyword? Keyword is a word whose meaning is known to the computer. So we say that they are explicitly reserved. They have their own meaning and it cannot be changed. The meaning cannot be changed. Its meaning cannot be changed. Okay. So keywords are the reserved words, we can say, whose meaning is known to the computer. So what are those? So some of the keywords are here. Here is the examples of keywords. That is auto, do, go to, signed. You can say here most widely used integer, int. Okay. So when I'll write int, computer knows that he have to reserve 2 bytes of memory for a variable. So computer knows that. Then you are having return. When we will terminate the program, at that time we will write this return statement. So computer knows when this statement is we are writing, at that time the program has to. Kindly mute your voice. Kindly mute, all of you mute your voice. Okay, then we have to write return. Return is again keyword. So these are the set of keywords. There are 32 reserved keywords. So that means there are 32 words whose meaning is known to the computer. So what is that keyword? Keyword means when you write such word, computer knows what task has to be done. Okay, so what is keyword? You are understand? I think this is an example of keyword. Keyword means the word whose meaning is known to the computer. We call it as reserve word. Okay, that is first form of C token. So we have done this first token. Okay, now we will move to second token. That is identifier. Okay, so each and every one of us we have one identity. Like I have my identity as my name, you have your identity as your name, your university number is the identity of yourself in the college. Same way in computer also, the memory what we are going to use has to assign its identity. Okay, identifier is giving the identity. Okay, so it identifier is a second token. It is composed of a sequence of letters, digits and underscore character. So most commonly used identifier is variable name, function name, file name. So that are the identifiers. You can use lowercase or uppercase, and C is a case sensitive language. Okay, so if you are writing something in lowercase, that is different from whatever you are writing in uppercase. Okay, lowercase and uppercase letters are treated as distinct. Why? Because C is a case sensitive language. Case sensitive means whatever you are writing in uppercase is different whatever is you are writing in lowercase. Identifiers should be chosen so that they contribute to the readability and documentation of the program. That means you should not give simply any name. Like if you are finding sum of two numbers, you can give sum as an identity. You don't write just simply A, B is equal to C. Such kind of things should not be there. Should be easily readable, documentable. Should be the identifier. Okay. Main a C program always begin execution. Special identifiers. So always begins its execution from main. You have main in the program. If you will not write the program, you will not, main in your program. If you will not write main, the program will not execute. Okay. So main is a special function from where your program begins its execution. Identifier, and I said that we have identifier name. So in identifiers you can have underscore character also. So it should not begin when you are using underscore, it should not begin with underscore, but rather it should begin with a character. So there should be maximum 8 characters in the identifier. Like if we say a name of a person, maximum a name of a person can contain 20 characters. Same way, when you are having an identifier, it can have maximum 8 characters in the identifier. It you can have a lengthy identifier name, but what happens is repeatedly typing that will make effort, will have create an effort to this. So that's why maximum we can keep of 8 characters. Okay, this is second token. So once again I'll go back to the slide. What are tokens? Tokens are first keywords. So what is keyword? Word whose meaning is known to the compiler is a keyword. Then identifier, it is giving the identity to the variable name. Okay, whatever variables you are using in the program, that is identifier. The third C token is constants. Okay, constants. So let us see what are constants. Okay, so constants are the one which does not change during the execution of the program. Assume if you are writing A in the program, will it become B after some times automatically? No. A will remain A only. If assume I am writing in a program 25. 25 will it become 30 after some times? No. It will not become. 25 will be 25 only. So that's why it is constant. Same way, if I am writing a value, a symbol capital B. Capital B, once we write in the program, capital B will be capital B only. It will not change. So, such type of things, whatever we are using in the program, which does not change throughout the execution of the program, that is called constant. Okay. What is constant? Constants are the numbers or characters which does not change its value throughout the execution of the program. Okay, so there are three types of constants. One is the integer constant. Next, next is floating point constant. Another one is character constants. Okay, so what is constant? First, remember the concept. What is constant? Constant, the one which does not change its value during the execution of a program. In contrast with this, this is constant. If I'll say variable, variable by definition, what is variable? Variables are the one which change value during the execution of the program. Okay, so constants, what is constant? Constants are the one which does not change its meaning during the execution of the program. Okay, so what is integer constant? Example of integer constant, like here 25. 25, if I'll write in the program a is equal to 25, a will become the value, get the value 25. So 25 will remain 25 only. Later on, if I'll write a is equal to a plus 1. So a was assigned as 25. Now a will become 26. 25 have it changed? No. But a have changed its value. A have incremented and it has become 26. So what is the difference? Whether a is constant or 25 is constant. 25 is constant, 25 is not changing, but rather a is changing. A is becoming 25 first, then it is becoming 26. So a is a variable and 25 is constant. Same way, if I will take an example 0, 0, if I will write in the program I is equal to 0, 0 will remain 0 only throughout the execution of the program. This will not change. So that is constant. Then we are having floating point constant. So here I am saying floating point constant. I have taken the pi value, that is 3.14159. So here we are having fraction, so that's why it is a floating point. Floating point means fractional value also is included. So this value will remain throughout the execution of the program, this only. This will not change. So that's why it is a floating point constant. Okay. Then we have character constants. Okay, what are characters? You can have a is a character, small a is a character, small b is a character. So then you can say plus sign, if it is written in a single quotation, then it is a character. If it is written in single quotation, then this is also a character. Whatever is written in the single quotation, then it is a character constant. I can also write a and in single quotation a. So when I am writing in single quotation a, this is called a character constant, rather than if I am writing a, that is not character constant. That is variable. If I write a here, that is variable and this is character constant. Whatever we will write in single quotation, that is character constant. Something whatever we are writing in double quotation, then that is string constant. Okay, whatever we will write in double quotation, that is string constant. This is character constant and this is string constant. Okay, there are some special character constants also. Okay, so if I'll write whatever we are writing in single quotation, that is a character constant. This character constant is \n. So this is escape character. We call it as escape character. So escape means it we are erasing the normal end with its new feature. So when we will write this, computer understand what is to be done. New line has to be introduced there. Okay. So just now I have said this is called a string constant. Whatever we are writing in double quotation, that is string constant. And this is character constant. Understand the difference what I am saying. Here in single quotation, if I am writing, then it is a character constant. If I am writing the same in double quotation, then it is a string constant. Okay. So now we will see what is string constant. String means collection of characters. So if I'll take 2 to 3 characters, then it is a string constant. So you see, anything, a sequence of characters. Here you can see a sequence of characters enclosed in pair of double quotation mark such as this is a string constant, or we can say it as literal. String constant or literal. So what is it? Sequence of characters. One by one, if I am writing the characters and the characters are enclosed in double quotation, then we say it as string constant or string literals. Character sequence that would have meaning if outside, if I am not writing this double quotation, it will give different meaning. That is just a variable. If we will write it in double quotation, then it will become a string constants. Okay. So is it a string or not string? You have to answer it. Okay. So first example I have taken, this is a string constant. It is written in double quotation. Will it become string? Anything written in double quotation is string constant. Okay. First one is string constant. Second, you see here only I have opened the quotation and I have closed the quotation. That's why it is not string constant. Second is not string constant. Third one, is it string constant? And what is string constant? This is the documentation comment line. Okay. And whatever space is coming in between the double quotation is a string constant. And here, is it a string constant? Anything, a sequence of characters written in double quotation is a string. So it is a string constant. Then this one, is it a string constant? Anything written in double quotation is a string constant. This is a string constant. This is a comment line. This is a comment line. Okay. So this is not an error will be generated here because it is not a string. And this is character. A character, not a string. Okay. This is character and it is not a string. Some mathematical operations, keywords. So we'll come back again. I'll see what are the tokens. Then we'll follow with this. See, first we have keywords. One which have reserved meaning. Identifier is an identity. Constants are the one which does not change it during the execution of the program. Then we have seen what are string constants, right? We have seen string constants also. Next, we will see what are the operators that are available in C. Operators available in C. So, we will go back to that slide. Okay. So, operators which are available in C. So, we look at mathematical operators. That is, we have this set of arithmetic operators. These are the arithmetic operators. What are those? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and percentage. So this addition will add two numbers. Subtraction will get the difference of two numbers. Multiplication will get the product of two numbers. Division will give you the quotient of two numbers. Then what is this percentage? Percentage is also division only, but the result here will be remainder. Okay, it will take two numbers. After dividing, what is the remainder it will return? This will return you the remainder. This will return you the quotient. Division sign the give back you the quotient. But percentage sign give back you the remainder. Again, in C we typically put white spaces around binary operators rather than to improve the readability. Okay, so you see, when I'll say these are the operators available, what are these operators? These are the binary operators. Binary means 2. So this addition operator is a binary operator. It will add two numbers. Two numbers it is adding, like A and B it will add. So A and B are two numbers. So that is binary operator. So all these are the binary operators. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, all these are the binary operators. Okay. Then another special operator which is available in C is a size of operator. What is size of operator? This size of is a unary operator. It will return you, give back an integer value. It will give the integer value indicating the size of the data type, variables. So any type of variables or data type, if you will write inside it like size of object, then it will give you the size of that object. This is a special operator. So these were the tokens. I'll come back once again. What are tokens? So first one is a keyword. Keyword are the word whose meaning is known to the computer. Identifier is an identity given to variables. Constants are the one which does not change during the execution of the program. There you have integer constant, floating point constant, character constant. Then string constant. What is string constant? Collection of characters written in double quotation. Collection of characters written in double quotation is a string constant. Then we have some set of operators. Then we have some punctuations. Punctuations are nothing but comma, full stop, white space. So such will be the punctuators. Okay. So we'll go next on to the printf statement. How to write a printf statement? What is the syntax of printf statement? Okay, that we will see here. Fine. So you all are familiar that if I want to display some message on the screen, if I want to display message on the screen, then I should write that in the printf statement. Okay. So you can say this is the syntax of printf statement. Syntax of printf statement. Syntax means the form. How you need to write the printf statement. Okay. So here you can see in printf you have control string and other arguments. Okay. So this is control string and other arguments. So first let us see what is other argument. In the expression, in other arguments are evaluated the expressions, or you can write an expression here or other arguments you can write here, that will be evaluated first, then the result will be displayed in the form specified in the control string. So you see here your expression or variables you can write here. First this will be checked, this side will be checked, the other argument side will be checked, then the result will be displayed in the form of control string. How you want in the form, that form will be displayed. In this example you see here printf, you can see this example, printf percentage d 14 years pay dollar. So a percentage yes, because here we want to display string, so that's why we are writing percentage yes. So in place of this percentages, what will be displayed is here this will be displayed, James Smith will be displayed. And next here we are writing percentage minus 4.2 f. Here in place of f it will be displaying this message, 8.95 will be displayed. So once you will execute this statement, the output of the statement will be like this: James Smith pay rate is dollar 8.95. This is the displayed, this message will be displayed on the screen. So the characters in the control string, like whatever you will write in the control string, is not part of formatting, and it is placed directly in the output. Whatever you will write here, same way it will be displayed on the screen. Like you see here, we wrote pay rate colon dollar. So same thing appeared here. This is not needing any formatting. But what you will write here, f is return means it is expecting an fractional value here, so fractional value will be displayed. If I'll write here yes, minus 14 yes, so that will display you the James Smith, because that is written in double quotation. Double quotation, anything you are writing, that is a string. Okay. So the format in the control string. So we have here control string. Now, what are the things we can write in this control string? That we will see here. You can write percentage %d. So this percentage %d is used to print integer value. Okay, percentage %d is used to print integer value. You can see in printf statement we have written get set percentage %d. So what it display? The value 1 will be displayed. 1 is an integer, so it will display integer value. Next we have percentage %s. So percentage %s is to display string. Okay, string is collection of character. So in this printf example, you see percentage %s here. So that's why here it will display this letters. TWO2 will be displayed. That is a string, so that will be displayed. Okay. Then we have next percentage %f. Percentage %f is used to display floating point numbers. So what is floating point number? Floating point number means it indicates fractional values. Fractional values. Like you see here, we are having fractional value 3.33. So it is having fractional part also. So that will be displayed. Percentage %f is used to display integer plus fractional part. So percentages. Percentage %c is a format specifier. We call it as format specifier for characters. If you want to display character, we will write percentage %c. So all these are called the format specifiers. Percentage %d, percentage %s, percentage %f, c, and you can have L, percentage %l, percentage %ld, percentage %lf. So those are the format specifiers. So printf conversion characters. C stands for same thing, whatever I have just said, same thing here. We say C as a character, D or I. If I'll write here percentage D, if I'll write percentage D or percentage I, it is for integer. U is for unsigned decimal integer. O is for octal number. So this all are the format specifiers, same whatever I have explained here, but for different purposes. For characters, for unsigned integer, for octal number, you will use these things, and each one will be preceded by percentage. Okay, fields that are optional. In printf, we have some optional fields also. That is, you can have positive integer, or you can have few characters, more characters. You can have precisions, like you can use a percentage DIO. Along with that, you can specify the 4.2, indicating that in integer part there can be maximum 4 characters, in fractional part there can be maximum 3 characters. Such kind of things can are called precisions. So here are the example of printf statement. So in this printf statement, what we have written, the format specifier is, first one is integer, second is to display string, third is to display floating point number, then for character again another one for character. These are called the format specifiers. So printf is used. Why we will use printf? Printf is used for printing output. When printf is called, it passes a list of arguments. It will pass your control string and other arguments to the string. So there can be errors in the format. You can write by mistake, some errors can be generated, like if you are writing percentage %m dot n, Then what is M, what is N, you need to specify, otherwise an error may be generated. Then why we will use scanf? Scanf is same as your printf statement. In printf, you will display output on monitor. In scanf, you will read input. You will read values from the user. So scanf is for taking input, printf is to give output. So format of this scanf is again the control string. First argument will be control string, then format specifier. Okay. So this is an example of your scanf statement. In scanf, we have %d. So this is same as your format specifier in printf statement. This we call it as control string. And we have to write here parameter list. What value you are reading from the keyboard, that value will be stored in this variable x. So whatever I'll type, like I want x is equal to 10, so from keyboard I will type 10, so that 10 goes into variable x. And what is this address x ampersand indicate? So ampersand is an address operator. Like if you want to store the value in the memory, we need to specify the address. So the address is specified with ampersand operator. Okay. So again the format conversion, for that format specifier same way as in printf statement. Here also we have C for characters, D for decimal numbers, F for floating point numbers, L for floating point number, double floating point number, and this is F for long floating point number, S for string. Each should be preceded with percentage. Okay, examples of printf statement. With printf, the format percentage %f format is used for either float or double. And in scanf, if you want float, then you can use percentage %f. But if you want double in scanf, then you need to use LF. That is the important thing you need to remember. Double, in double, for printf, just writing F is sufficient. For scanf, you have to write is as LF. Okay. Okay, another special precautions we need to take is when reading a number, scanf will skip white spaces, space characters. Scanf will not read white spaces, so it will skip. And when reading character, white spaces are not skipped. In scanf, white spaces when you are reading, so that time it will not be skipped. Okay. When the scanf function read the data, scanf is to read the value from keyboard. When it read the data, it returns the number. It returns the number for successful conversion. Like you see here, it is reading. It will read whatever you will type for first, that will go into in the form of %d to the variable first. Then whatever you are typing second value, that goes in the form of integer to the variable second. Each is preceded with ampersand to indicate the address operator. So when you will use this statement, so the common errors which may occur is failure to correctly terminate the comments. So whatever you will write /* for comment line, you will not terminate it. You will when you are writing strings, you will not double end with a double quotation. Missing semicolon, omitting ampersand. If you will not write ampersand in the scanf statement, that is also an error. So these are the errors that may be generated, common errors in a programming language. So this is how. So for now we will stop our class for today. So in the next class, again we will continue with data types. So tomorrow at 1 o'clock I'll have the class. In the next class, I'll continue with data types. Okay. So kindly don't leave the